Pastor Crawford, can you tell us a little bit more about the Speed Community program that we have going?
Well, God has blessed us to be able to feed this community. You know, we started out feeding the children. Initially, it was a program feeding the children. And after looking into the boxes and seeing what was in it, I was very discouraged about some of the content that was in the boxes. And so I spoke to the person who actually raised the money for Feed the Children and told them if they gave me the money, I could have did better. And so he said, okay, and he put me to the test. He brought me a check. And based on that check, we was able to change the name. Because can you
That's the last word.
children, we had to change to Feed the Community. And it has been a blessing. And we start out with 400 people, and now we're up to 1,000 people.
That's awesome. Can you tell me what kind of items are you able to put into each one of the boxes that goes out to each family?
Well, right now we have, of course, we have turkey. We have stuff that would be a blessing for them Thanksgiving, stuffing, cranberry. We also have cereal in there. We have some protein stuff. We have juices. You name it, we have it in there. You know, something that lasts them a family of 4 for a week.
Amen. And based on what you've seen over the years, how do you think this has impacted the community?
Well, one of the things I always say is that you want to keep the church in the community. You know, too many churches are inside, and that's not a church. The church is supposed to be outside the walls. And my philosophy is, if the church burned down, what would the community say? You know, would the community clap and say, thank God they're out the way? Or would the community be saying, listen, we got to get that church back up because they've been a blessing to us? I think what we're doing, the community will rally to put the church back together because of some of the things we've done. Not only just have we feed the community, but we have the back to school bash, you know, we have the health fairs. We do a lot of things with coat drives, you know, feeding hot meals sometimes. So we do a lot of things for the community.
And what are some of the other things you would like to see our congregation do in the future in terms of community?
Well, certainly I would like to see our church, not only our church, but our community as well, start working on the educational system. You know, we're blessed to have children in our church and children in our community, but they're not excelling in school. And so it would be great if our children was able to, our congregation was able to volunteer their time. Those who are in the school can maybe volunteer, tutor. Those that's good at computer can teach some children how to work on the computer. There's a lot of things we can be doing. A lot of things the church can be doing.
And based on what we've been doing in the community thus far, how has it impacted our church? How has it given back to our church?
Well, you know, the Bible is right. It's better to give, blessed to give than to receive. When you start giving, you start really starting to fulfill the mandate of Christ. And people start feeling that. They feel good about that. You know, there are people in the church that are hurting, but when they start giving, they feel better. You know what I mean? They say, wow, I thought I was bad off, but now, you know, I see I'm not as bad as I thought I was. And there's just a principle about giving. I remember a young person was taking their children to the children's hospital and during Christmas time and said, listen, this year we're not going to buy you no toys for you. We want you to buy a toy, but we want you to give them away at the children's hospital. Kids was upset until they got down there and saw all these sick kids. They begged their parents, let's do this again next year. So it's the principle of giving. Once you give, you feel good about it.
So basically, it inspires them and it feeds their soul.
Of course.
Them in a sense.
Of course. Of course.
Pastor, I feel you're doing an awesome job. I've talked to some of the people on the line, and they are so grateful and moved by what you have done, what the church has done in the community, and they just said there's nothing more. You're doing just so much for them, and it's making such a huge difference in their life.
You know, there's so much more that needs to be done. You know, right now the economy is not good for them. A lot of people are struggling to make ends meet, and I wish there was more programs that we could do to assist them and aid them. You know, we need more after-school programs. We need child care, child provider. You know, elderly are sick and they have nobody there to make sure they're okay. You know, one of the problems I see now is that we have a lot of elderly living by themselves. If anything happened to them, nobody would know it. You know, that happened down at First Calvary, my other church, where someone actually was in the house for 3 days and nobody knew it. So those are concerns I have that we need to do more. You know, to make sure that our community is healthy, doing well, thriving. We need to bring more jobs into the community, especially this district. So there's so much more we can be doing.
That's right. What I see also is there's some people who were here on the line previously and now they're here volunteering. And
Wow.
that's because of you.
Wow.
And we just like to say God bless you.
Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you.
For taking out the
Thank
time
you.
to do this and believe your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you and love my church.
We could do two. We could do one here in the middle. All we need is four. All we need really is four.
Hey, how you doing?
And if you squeeze it.
To go ask some questions?
Maybe we can do side by side.
I think this is the greatest thing that they have done. They're very organized. They're very caring, you know, and it's the greatest thing that.
Is this your first time here? We've been doing this for a couple of years. Is this your first time?
First time for Thanksgiving, yes.
Okay.
First
Well, how did you hear about it?
I heard it through friends of mine that come
In the
here
neighborhood?
In the neighborhood.
And how is this event going to change how you usually do things for Thanksgiving?
Oh, it's going to change it because I'm going to cook. I never cook on Thanksgiving because I don't have the money to be buying the stuff. So this year, and I have my aunt coming to spend it with me. So it's changed a lot. I'm very thankful to the Lord.
You want the voucher number?
I'm the last person.
All right. God bless everybody. God bless everybody. Be patient, y'all. Get closer and closer. God bless you. Get closer and closer. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. You're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you. God bless you. Amen. God bless you. How are you? Yeah. God bless you. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.